Hey guys, so how are we going? In this video, gonna continue the belt. Basically here guys, let me see here, I have this part, I have merged these guys here too. And to block this part here, it's a little strange, but it's okay. And here I have created these guys here to use as a boolean, so I can select make a mask, for example, and try to bring a little bit. And we can, for example, select the render live boolean, and here in this option I can select this icon here, the second icon, and we have the boolean here. Of course, we need just make the boolean on this first part here, so this part here, but we can have an overall idea here about the structure. So it's working. Let me turn off this guy here. I'll just fix a little bit this part, scale a little bit. Let me scale a little bit on this way and move in front a little bit. Let me select this part here, it's okay. So here guys, this part here, it's just the boolean. I will not apply the boolean now because I want to finish this other part and the cloth to have a corrected boolean, because if I make something wrong, I will need to redo the thing. So I don't want to apply the boolean right now. So what I'm gonna do is just keep a pause here. So let me click on this icon, reset here, and move in front a little bit. I can press Ctrl to duplicate this object here. If I want, I can keep apply the boolean render, boolean active. I will select this icon. Here I will rotate a little bit. I can turn off the perspective. And if I want yet, I can press Ctrl a little bit more, move in front here, and basically let me move a little bit more, move back. So let me rotate a little bit. And here we have this part. Let me check here, let me turn on perspective. It's okay. Let me see this other. I think it's not necessary this other here. So I can hide it and do hiding. And come to this icon to turn off and render, turn off the live boolean, it's not necessary now. I can make a mask here, invert, use the move brush to bring a little bit this guy. Can press 6 to use the topological brush, because I will apply the effect only in the polygroup part. So let me move a little bit these guys here in front too. Let me increase this part a little bit. Of course, if I want, I can turn off the color here. So let me see. It's okay. Pick the color again. And it's okay for now. Let me select this other guy here. And I will make the same thing. The difference here is we need make this connection here. So it's something like we have this part. let me see, we have this part here until here, and we have this part to connect the belt. So it's something like that. You can use a real belt to check it. So it's something like that. So I need break it here more or less. Let me do the crease, uncrease all. It's okay. So now I can try to move this guy here. It's the final, it's here. So let me try to move this part here. Alt-R to activate the Z modeler and slide. Let me check. Slide. Something like that can be here. Let me try to organize it. I wanna keep this loop on this way because here I can cut, delete this polygon and start this part here, for example, something like that. So now I can, for example, let me just fix this part here. Let me move this part here too. This other. And here a little bit. And this one. It's okay. And now I can do this part here. Do hide. Do hiding. Well, oh, of course. Let me invert here. Control W. And do higher and do hiding. Let me isolate this one. Let me invert here and here. Invert and do hiding. It's okay. Now we have a connection. It's kind of something from this way. It's something like that. And this part, and we have something like in this way and come from this part here. This region here. So I think we can create the, let me close this loop here. Alt-R space bright. It's okay, and same thing here. It's okay. And what I can do is try to model this part here. So let me check. Yeah. Let me model this part here to have a better adaptation here. So I will save the project, save as. So guys, this is the workflow when you are creating, for example, it's not a complex character, but a character that have a lot of things to do. So here, we don't have a lot of things and take time. So imagine a character complex where we need add a lot of props, details, a lot of clothes, and all these elements, accessories, and all these things. So this take time. So try to keep your mind that you need keep doing the things. This is the secret. Step by step refining, try to find the overall idea. Then if necessary can change the elements. This is the way. So don't worry about I need to finish it very quickly. If you are doing a character for study or for your own portfolio. When you are in a studio, basically you have the art director or lead character, the senior that will help you or give you a direction. So if you are learning, I recommend you spend the time doing the correct things calmly, and don't think that you will construct, you will build a good character in 1 day, 2 days. This style, it's not possible sculpting or creating from the zero. Okay, so is it, guys? In next video we're gonna continue. We're gonna try to create this piece here, this metal piece here, to compose the belt. So see you in the next video. Hey guys, so let me just fix a little bit my mic here, microphone. So let's continue, guys. We're gonna make this metal part of the belt here. So I'm thinking how I can do it very simple form. Then I will use the Create PG again, the same workflow, to create this part of the belt. So here we have a straight line, and here it's curved, so we're gonna follow this part here. I think, let me see, let me try to rotate it. Let me open the Karnak first, and let me press Ctrl to rotate it, and more or less on this position. Here it's better to model it and try to see the overall shape. It's kind of M here in turn. It's M. This part, don't keep your attention here. It's a little confused because, for example, this point, it's kind of a plane only. Until here it's a plane, and here it's different, this part and this part. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a plane. My overall idea for this model here, it's kind of plane, a cube here, and we're gonna have this part here and here. So it's something like that, guys. So my overall idea, of course. And here. And something like that. Something like that. And we have this part here, where the belt come here, for example. And this part. And here we have the part here. So this is the overall idea. It's kind of M here, so let's try to do that. Then press Ask. I go in Preference, Quick Save, and I will increase it because I don't wanna quick saves. So let me think here. I can start with a cube or a plane. Let me test with a plane here. Let me select a color from this one. I'm gonna press C. Let me see my Karnak. It's working. Yeah, why you are not appearing here? Well, let's continue here. I have picked this color to have in my plane here. I can switch here and keep other color, for example, just a red if I want. And here initialize. And guys, all this process, for example, I'm doing ZBrush, fully in ZBrush, but if you want, you can make in Blender, 3ds Max, and Maya. I am doing here in ZBrush because for me it's better. Then I make it in Blender, come back to ZBrush. Of course, we have plugins and all these things, but in this situation, I prefer ZBrush right now because it's more normal for me. But if it's not comfortable for you, you can make in Maya, for example, then export it or use some plugin or go Z, for example, and send the files, the objects here. So let me go here, initialize. So I need to select a plane again. Let me see here. Well, oh, it's not necessary to select a plane again. Basically here, I was confused with the cube parameters. So 2 divide, now it's okay. Basically, I will try to find this visual. Other workflow, you could use a cube, for example, make a mask and extrude it, use the zero mesh, clean it, and make this visual. It's a good way to do that if you want to. So here we have this part, so let me think a good part here. It's something like that, so let me think. Let me press Alt-R. Let me make Polymesh 3D first, of course. Alt-R. Where you are? My hotkey is not working, really? Let me see, 1, 2. Yes, my hotkey is not working, Alt-S, so let me go in brush. Let me select here the Z modeler. Alt-R here, so come on. Oh, now it's okay, it's working. And here I have, I don't know why, but I have decrease PG applied here, so let me go increase all. And I can use extrude here, very simple. Let me see. Extrude. Turn off the perspective. Let me see. And I have, let me turn on the display properties in double to avoid mistakes. So I have the extrude here, really? No. Extrude, edge loop. So it's okay in this part. Well, what I'm gonna do in that use the extrude, I will use insert. I will add a loop here so it's better. And let me think about this part. If I want add, let me check here. Other loop here, maybe. I'm trying to think about this silhouette here. It's a little different in my mind. So I have this line. So let me see here. It's something like that. The curved. So let me think about this part here. Let me make a test. I will bring this one here. I will add other loop here. But another loop, other loop here. So basically I have this visual here, but it will not work. I need more information here. So let me make an extrude here. Let me check this part. I can make an extrude from this point here. Let me think if I put information here. Well, I will try to do it on this way. Space, extrude. Let me select here, edge loop only. And I have this question with this information here. I confess I don't like to use extruding planes here, but it's okay. And same thing here. On this way, It's okay. So now I know that I have aligned it because I'm not seeing the vertex. So here, let me check. I can try to bring here and here the M. Here we have a curve. Maybe here I can do an extrude, or I'm thinking about a bevel here. This part. Let me make an extrude here. So let me go to space, Altier. Come on, Altier, please. You are kidding me. The Altier is not working. I don't know why, but okay. In polygroup all. And something like that. It's okay. The thickness. And this part here I will add a loop here, insert, to extrude here too. Well, maybe we'll do that. I will do it then, because I don't want the same distance here. I want something from this point to extrude here. And here we'll try to use a bevel. Let me check it. Something like that. Let me see. Well, it's not working. Let me see bevel. Poly loop. Let me check. No. Partial. No. Let me try to hide this part. Let me see. This way. No, I need to do that. Let me try to deal this part. Insert edge loop. And now I will try to use the bevel. It's not even working. I wanna other point here. I wanna open this point and a point here. So what I can do is try to insert. And here, let me check about that. Let me see here. I want something on this point, here. So let me think about that. Well, now you try to add a loop here and do this one, but we'll merge here. Now it's okay. I don't want this loop here. Come on, please help me, my friend. So what I'm gonna do is use the stitch this point to this point, this point, oops, this point to this point. It's okay. And this to this, or let me press Ctrl Z, this to this. No, this to this point. Here, the same thing. So sometimes this part is a little boring because we need to make all this process here to try to get some point. And here you make the same thing. This guy to this guy. Let me test this stitch. So, for example, I want to remove this loop, and it's very, very difficult to do that. So it's still crazy. But well, what I'm gonna do is go delete the polygons, and I will use the bridge. It's the solution for it. So let me go in bridge. So all this process here. Sometimes it's a little boring, this part, and in the modeler, because if you are not habitual modeler in the modeler. So all this process to do a simple thing, it's really, yeah, it's this way. So now you make a mask here. And here I'm thinking how I can bring this process here. So basically what I can do, it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. 1. And here I can try to add a loop here maybe. Let me select the modeler and I will extrude it. Maybe this is the way to do that. Something like that. Let me check here. Yeah. This part here. We need something like more on this way. So let me check here. It's okay. Let me try to add a loop here. The modeler is not working really. I press space, insert the Altier loop. The Altier hotkey is not working. Something like that. And it can be on this way too here. So here I need a loop here and not on this way. But well, let me insert here. And what I'm gonna do is basically merge it, use this stitch. And select this guy and this one. And here and here. It's okay. So basically here I want 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're gonna 1, 2, 3. Yes, will not work. So in the end it's the same thing here, so it's okay. Let me check here. I need to remove this guy here. Delete edge and edge. So this is the flow here. So let me add insert this edge loop. Let me invert and create a little curve here. And this part we can keep this way if you want, or not. Let me select this guy and move up a little bit and try to put more or less in the same line here. Let me use the mirror and weld. So it's something like on this way. Local sim. And if we want, we can try to find the local sim. Let me turn off the local sim. Let me check the proportion here if I want. So it's okay, then press Ctrl D. It's okay, now we need to try to see how we will work. So let me move back here more or less on this way. Let me just check this part. It's okay, it's working, it's merged. So let me switch to the main color, and we need something like on this way, and this part here, it's more on this way here. So let me press Ctrl. So how you can see, sometimes we need to think, and probably we had a different workflow here that will work better maybe, but it's okay. This part here, I think the proportion, we can increase it. Let me try to move a little bit. And this part here. And this guy here, move up a little bit too. Let me check. Maybe this part here we need to move down a little bit. More or less on this way. Can be the us perspective. And now next video we're gonna see how to use the subdivision here to have a good visual here. So this is the way, guys. It's not perfectly, but I like to make some different tests sometimes. So see you guys in the next video. Remember, this little piece take time, guys. It's normal. So see you guys in the next video. So continue here, guys. Basically what I want to test here is make a bevel here. Let me check. Use the bevel. Let me turn off the X. Symmetry, local, it's okay. And here we have this problem because we have triangles here. So let me try to activate the X symmetry, of course. Let me move this guy a little bit here. And let's go, guys. And let me do this part here. Let me think about, let me test. Yeah, I will try to do this part here. And same thing here, let me check. Oops, this part. Or if you want, let me check here, just take a bevel this part and try to make a bevel here. So basically, if we delete this point, let me test, guys, let me test. It's important to make tests, so let me see here. You take a bevel a little more intense, more or less on this way here, maybe. It's okay. And here's something more like on this way. No, will not be good for me. It's not necessary, this part here I think is not necessary, but here, let me activate the L symmetry, transform Z. I think I need to change at this part here and I forgot to do that. So maybe something like that, or not. No, I think it's not necessary. Let me check here. Of course, here in this part seems that it's something like a triangle here. It's something like on this way. Maybe this part here we need change a little bit. So let me test. Let me make a mask. Control. What I'm gonna do is try to scale it. Let me invert. Turn off perspective. Let me make a mask here. invert it. So what's happening here? Oh, of course, let me turn off the X. Press Ctrl Z, the X symmetry. Now it's working. So let me use the transpose just to test, guys. Well, I think it's not a good visual. I will keep more squad for these specific situations. So let me go transform, turn off the Z and a local symmetry too. What I'm gonna do is try to bring this bevel here. So Alt-R, I don't want bevel here. Let me try to deal these elements here. Delete here and here and here and here, and it's okay. So now I can try to apply the bevel more or less on this way. Something like that. Then press Ctrl Z, and now I will activate the transform Z X. So let me see here. It's okay. Something like that. Let me see here in this part. Press Ctrl Z. Turn on the local symmetry. So now will work. And here you can try to move a little bit. It's okay. Maybe this part here too. Alt-R. And I have this visual here. It's okay. So now I can merge. Use the bridge here. So let me check. With this part here, I can press space and bridge. This one, this guy, and this guy. It's okay, but I have three elements here. So it's not necessary. What I can do here is go to stitch, select this guy, and this part, and this part, and here. Let me check here. This part here. And let me see this part. It's a little different. Press Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z here. And let me check. Here I have this guy. So let me see here, it's different. It's not necessarily this loop here. Let me press space, deal, edge. This edge here, maybe. Well. Let me come back with all these parts and let me deal this polygon here too, and now I can try to use the bevel. This part here, this part, then press space, bevel. So will not works too. Let me try to understand what's happening here. So let me deal this guy and try to make the bevel here. Now will work. Now it's okay. So here I can try to merge the elements. I think this point and this point can be together. And here we can bridge this point, this guy here, bridge. It's okay. Same part here, bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe if I add loop here, maybe something like to connect on this way. Let me think, and if I use a bevel here, but will not open what I want. Yes, can be here. Now I can use this stitch and try to use the bridge here. I can use the slide more or less on this way. It's okay, it's working. Now I can use the move brush to fix a little bit the parts. And Altier space bridge. Try to merge this region here. So here it's a little strange. Of course, let me move. Let me use the slide. I'll try to move inner a little bit. Let me check here. So more or less on this line here. Yeah. Can be on this way. Here I can try to fix a little bit these parts. Try to increase a little bit these parts. Let him see, yeah. It's okay for now. If I want, I can move these guys a little bit here and use the bridge. This part and this part here too. It's done. Now if I want, I can, let me see, slide this guy here, not, let me use the move. Let me use the move here. It's okay, and this part too, because I will, let me see, this part is not necessary, only the inner part, the inner part, because I will add a loop here to bring this guy. So the first thing, let me try to create a polygroup to all the border, the bevel. So let me turn off the Z. And, well, let me select this part. And, well, let me use the transform Z again. Let me select this part here, will not work, maybe will work. So let me check, let me invert, press Ctrl W to create a polygroup here to it. Let me invert, and let me see the double, yes, it's okay. Let me see if I can do that. So it's okay. Now this part here, let me try to create a polygroup to that. Let me go in transform, turn off the Z option, and I will try to make it, press Ctrl W, so I have this polygroup here. Let me press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, I'm gonna press Ctrl W. Now hide this part, Ctrl W, hide this part and Ctrl W. So now I have the correct polygroups here. And now I wanna this, press Ctrl Shift and I select the select lasso, and I will make, oops, let me see this part here. So let me hide this part. Let me check here how I can do that. So let me see. Hide this part. And here, let me see, let me invert. And try to hide this guy. Well, let me make different here. Let me check, I think. Let me select this guy. It's okay for now. Well, has work. Let me try to hide this part, but no. Let me see here, guys, how I can make the. Wow, I can deal. Maybe let me deal these polygons here. Let me try to hide this part, make a mask, invert it. Let me check here. Yes, what I can try to do is make a mask, invert, and press. Let me come back and let me press Ctrl Z. No, this bottom part it's okay, but this part, well, what I have here. Let me go in PG. I have some crease and crease out to clean these polygons here. And let me check this guy here. Let me try to hide it. Invert. Now, finally, come on, thank you. And let me hide this part here too. You are kidding me. I press Ctrl W here. Outer groups, let me press Ctrl W, let me make a mask here. It's okay. Invert it, press Ctrl W. It's okay. What I can do here, it's invert it, press Ctrl W. Now I will make a mask here. Press. Let me make here. I press Ctrl C. Make a mask here too. Press Ctrl W. Let me clean all, and I will select a mask here. Now I will clean the mask here, press Ctrl Alt. And now I have marked this region here. And this part, let me invert. So let me check, yes. Just let me change this part here. Let me see here. Let me go in transform, it's okay. Let me invert. Ctrl W, and press Ctrl Z. And try to hide. Ctrl W. Now it's okay. Let me test now. So we're gonna crease PG. Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. It's okay. What I'm gonna do is try to make this part different polygons. Will be a little challenge here. This guys here. This point, for example, we need to make a different color here. So basically, what I need to do is it. So let me make a mask. Okay, and let me make other mask here. And let me make invert it. Let me hide this part. Let me check here. Let me clean this part here. It's okay, and now here too. And make different color here. So let me create PG and test. It's cool, but what I have here, it's okay. Oh, I have other guy here, so let me press Alt-R, stitch, and merge this part. And press Ctrl Z, and this guy on to this guy, and this part to this part. This part here to this part. It's clean. It's okay. Create PG, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. Well, this part will work. So let me fix this part here in the bottom. Press Ctrl Z, let me move it, slide, and slide here a little bit. The same part here. And I don't know why, but here I have missed the hiding mesh, part here hiding. This one should mesh. It's okay. It's, let me go to bridge. And here, well, can be on this way. Of course, I need to add a loop here. Insert. And loop here, more or less on this way. Now I will delete polygon. I will bridge 2 holes. So it's okay. Now I can go to delete. Let me go to delete here too, and delete, edit loop complete. Let me see, let me turn off the X symmetry. It's okay. So this part is not too important. It's okay. Create PG, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, and now it's done. It's okay for now. Let me turn on the perspective. And here we have this option, the belt connection. We can, for example, play a little bit with the shape. Of course, it's not necessary. What is the workflow here, guys? For example, to here, I think we can create different polygroups to let me press Ctrl Z. But what I want to say is, you can make a Dynamesh here and make all the details and take a normal map to apply in low poly. So it's not necessary you have all the high poly in the same file. For example, you can make different subtools here to make the normal map. So here I think we can make a different polygroup for this region here if we want. So let me press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, and what I'm gonna do here is basically work on this way here. So let me make a mask. Let me make a mask. Let me see here. Let me hide this guy here too. Well, can be on this way. Control W. Let me see. Control W until this part. Control W here. It's okay. So now I can try to invert this part. And make a mask here. Control W, hide this guy here. Let me make other mask here. Control W. And this part here. Let me check. Yeah, it's okay. It's done. Let me just check this part here. Yeah, it's okay. So let me increase PG. Just press Ctrl Z. Increase PG just to test. So how you can see we have this part more hard here. Then press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I will add insert here and loop here and here, or can be on this part here if I want from this point. Let me delete this polygon, bridge, 2 holes. Let me select here circle spine. Yeah, can be from this point. Oops, let me press Ctrl Z, turn on the X symmetry, insert. Let me add, insert here. Delete this polygon, bridge. It's okay. X, delete this loop here, increase PG, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, and here we have our file, our model here. So is it, guys. In next video we're gonna continue, so see you in the next video. And well, guys, continuing here, I like to make different versions here of this part. So I have created this one and I have done this one too. So how you can see, it's kind of something like a house here, and it's this shape. So you can make different versions of this part. So here I have created a simple element to simulate this part here. Very simple, using a cube and merging these parts. So what I want to say is try to make different things and see which will work better. So here now we're gonna try to put on this part here, guys. I don't know, it's all in the same line. Maybe I need scale something here to have it's kind of a different angle. Let me see here. I have geometry. Let me think about that. For example, this part here, let me try to do that. Let me make a mask here on this way. It's okay. And on this way, let me invert and maybe turn off the perspective and maybe put it into the side. Something like that, to have this part something chamfer. So I have this angle like square and make something like that. It's better for games, visual or something like that. It's not so cool. It's a depend of course of each project, but when you make something exactly, for example, a square here exactly, it's not so cool in looking for the angle view of the camera, for example, when you are playing or when you are watching a movie, for example. You need to think about that. And here I will make the same thing. Oops, on this part here. We'll move a little bit on this way. Yes. And maybe I can try to make same thing with this part here. Let me check. I will make a selection here. So I like to test these things sometimes. Like press Ctrl, mask lasso, and I will select the border. Let me move it a little bit, something like that. It's very, very cool. And of course I can select this one if I want. Let me try. Yeah, something like this way. So it's important we have this angle. So when I apply the perspective, it's okay, but we have these lines, diagonal lines. So let me check here. I will append it in my project here. Let me go append this guy, append this other here. And of course you need to test and see what will work better. Let me create a new folder here. Where you are, new folder, metal belt. I will put this name here. And drag and drop here this part too. Let me select this guy, press Y. Let me reset this part here. And here, guys, I can try to move. Probably I will move just the only active part. So if I press on this icon here, I will move all the parts that in my folder. Let me check why I have all the part in all the part that are in the all the folders here of the subtool. So what I need to do, it's click again, and here scrolls. Let me duplicate. Let me delete folder. So now it's okay. And here, if I click again, well, let me check what's happening here. I have deleted the folder. So let me see here. I transpose set. Let me click here and transpose set, and I can click on this way in this part here and transpose add. So basically now I will move both guys. So here I can change this element. I can reset the pivot, and I will try to rotate here and find a proportion here. Let me check something like that. Of course, you can merge it if you want. I'm not merging because I don't want merge it then. Let me check here. See, on this way it's a little big. Let me scale a little bit more. More or less on this way. Can click here just to check. Maybe it's too big yet. Let me see the concept. It's not too big. Let me scale it a little more. Let me test something like that. Of course, we need to do the belt here. It will be minor when we add the subdivisions. So let me press here Ctrl D just to see a little bit, and let me turn on this guy here. So it will be something like that. Let me select here this part and turn on this part. Let me check here. Turn off the perspective, more or less on the middle here of the cross. I want something like that. Or here, let me check, yeah. So here we have this point, so it's something like that. Let me see. And this part here is more to the side. Let me check here. Of course, we need redo the elements again, but well, let me check on this part here. So we are building and blocking. Of course, here in perspective angle, take care about that. So sometimes not good, you change a lot. Let me check here. Well, I will keep on this way and then I will change these elements here. So let me see here. I think this guy here is not necessary to be on this part. I can try to put in the middle here. Rotate a little bit. More or less on this angle here. It's okay. And this part here, I press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. This part here, we have this question. So basically we have this, some volume on this way and go inner this part. So let me turn off this option to transpose and move here. And let me check here. It's okay, and we will need see this option here. So I will press on this part and delete folder. It's okay. And here you create a new folder here. Where you are, new folder scrolls here. Let me drag these other parts here too, and this way, and this one. Probably I need to move a little bit to back. And this guy here seems a little more big. Let me put in the middle of the object here. I will scale a little bit and make the same thing here. Oops, let me scale a little bit. This guy. And here, let me drag this one and this. Let me see. So here, let me see here, this one and this one. Let me try to make this movement here. Let me go in this part here, I will select these guys. Where you are here? So let me see here, it's okay. Let me check what's happening here. So let me see, transpose set. It's okay, now it's working. Let me just see if it's working. Yes, it's working. So what I'm gonna do is pick on this part to go to move my pivot to the center of this object. And now I will try to scale a little bit. So let me check, it's a little big here. It's okay, let me see on this angle. Let it move a little bit, move up. So yes, and let me move back. I wanna move back all these guys here, so maybe this guy here I can scale a little bit more. So of course then we need involve the chains here, so don't worry about that. And let me rotate a little bit on this angle here. So let me see here. I will need move it back. So I'll drag and drop here and try to select these guys here. Transpose add, transpose add. It's to add the object to my transpose. So when I click here, for example, on this part, I can move all then. So let me move back here. Let me move to this part here, more or less. Let me check here. It's cool. Let me move a little bit to side here. A little bit more. Let me check. A little bit more on this part here. So it's okay. Front view. It's okay on this part here. Of course, then we can make different. For example, we can try to rotate to this point, to this direction, a little more in diagonal to make more sense when I involve with the chain here, something like that. So basically, I can do that. Just select this option and try to rotate a little bit on this direction and move in front a little bit to have a better visual silhouette here. So something like that, it's better. Let me select this guy and I rotate a little bit to have different angles. So it's okay. Let me select this guy here and reset the pivot. Is it, guys? And the next video I'm gonna continue. How you can see we have something here. We need finish this belt here, but it's going. This element is very cool here, so we can continue from this way. So basically, I recommend you always try to test different elements, different shapes, different poses. It's good to test if it if it is working, or sometimes you will get a better result. So it's necessary to test the elements. And here the hair, of course, we have something like that. This angle, these hairs here. Here it's something on this way, covering a little bit of the chain. We have this visual to the hair. And the time it's short and I need work a little more fast, but it's not possible because you need test and make the test and make this low it's not a low progress, it's more kind of slowly progress, because if you want to make very quickly the things, probably you will need remake this thing, so it's two times bad you make quickly things. You need to think and see it's working, it's not working. So basically here the cloth we will need to fix this part here, and this part here we could do that. Let me see this part here. Basically I could move it, for example, then if I want fix it, move and apply a bevel. It's simple, just apply a bevel. So it's not necessary these elements here, so I can apply a bevel and cut here and cut here. Very simple, and bring a little more of contrast, so maybe make more curves. So is it, guys, for now. In next video, gonna continue to finish the belt and these parts here. So then I think we can add the chains on this part and make this part here. So we are going to the part where you're gonna finish all the elements of the body, the block of the elements of the body, and then we need to refine it. For example, this part here, and basically it's done. So this part here, we're gonna finish it when we finish the head and the hair. So more or less, a good deadline to it, it's 1 week. 1 week to the head, for example, and the hair. But when you are recording, for example, for courses or these things, probably will take a long time, because it's different when you are recording and when it's not necessarily recorded, just simulating like a studio, for example, production. It's very, very different. So let me save again. Oops, let me say like as a 657. It's okay. Let me see. Maybe this part could be a little more to this way. We need to repose it. And well, is it? Let me see the skirt here. Let me see geometry. But a little more intense. Can be 4. It's okay. Let me save again. And I will save as again another version, because if I have some problem with my file, I have this copy of the copy. So is it, guys? See you in the next video. We have this word yet, so this word I think is not too complex. Of course, it will take time, but it's basically shapes, and we're gonna work with Crease PG, but I need to finish the body here. So is it, guys? See you in the next video. And here, guys, basically what I'm gonna do is add this other part here, but I think we could make a little curve on this part, but I will do then. Maybe I'll do it then. Let me check this part here. Well, yeah. So what I think here, it's make this part separated. So something come here and here until here, more or less. So something like that. So you make separated, because I can repose very quickly and try to find a good position here. So is it that I will do? Let me think about that. Yes, so I will separate a part of this element here. So I will duplicate this one and select this region here, invert and do hiding. And this part here, let me check. I can extrude this part here. Let me open the Karnak here. Karnak. And let me see here where you are, Karnak. It's here. It's okay to record my hotkeys that I am using. So here you extrude this part. Let me see here. It's okay. It can be very simple this way. And now I can invert, and if I want, I can move this region here. So my idea here is try to, let me do this part here too. It's try to keep this part, let me see, it's kind of freeze, because then I can merge it, this part with this. So I will try to work from this point here. So basically here, let me see, it's on this way, and we need add a loop here maybe to create a curve part, but we will not do that on this way. So what I want here, let me move this region here too, and this part here. Let me check. It's okay. And basically this guy here, we need move this part in front. Let me see here. Something like a little bit in front this way. And this part here, we need make a curve. So I will add a loop here, Alt-R, insert loop. Let me check a loop here, a loop here, a loop here, and the other loop on this part here. And I will try to move this region here. So let me check. I will try to move this guy here and rotate a little bit maybe. Let me make this mask here, and I will try to rotate a little bit to fix the polygons. Let me turn off the perspective. Okay. So let me move a little bit. Yeah. Something like on this way. Let me check here. It's the same size on these parts here. So it's okay here. And this point, we need make different. So I will select this region, try to move in front, reset this guy here. And I will try to move in front a little bit. Let me check. It's okay. This part here, I'll move back. Let me check here, something like that. So now I need, I think, try to bring this point until here. So what I'm gonna do is try to make a mask here. Invert it. And try to bring to this direction. Now I can move more or less on this way here. Can be on this way. And here it's something like that. Let me try to but on this part, let me add a loop here on this region and make a mask here again. Let me hide this part here. And basically it's this way until we find a good visual here. So let me see, here I can make a mask again and just keep this part working here. It's okay. Let me see. Yeah. Press Ctrl Z. So let me check this part. Let me invert and make a mask here and try to move a little bit this part. A little more on this angle. Make a mask here, invert, and make the same thing on this part. In this region here, try to rotate a little bit, maybe. Or I can try to move a little bit the vertex here. The same thing with this region here. So I'm trying to find a good silhouette here, good visual. I think this part here, it's kinda, it's something like on this visual, because we need of this part here appearing. Let me check a little bit. No. And this part here, I think we need move a little bit inner. And this region too. So let me see, almost there, just checking the elements. And this part here, it's more to down. Let me reset and let me select this guy here. And let me check, it's okay. Let me see, I can select this part, transpose, move down a little bit. Let me check here. Yeah, can be more or less on this angle. And I confess you, I wanted these guys here in front a little bit. Let me check here. Let me see. Let me see here. A little bit in front. Let me see here. This part can be, yeah, for now it's okay, it's better. So I can see just a little movement on this way. Yeah. And it's okay, we need to fix this part here. So why I have done it separated, because if I want to move this part and this part together with this guy, I can. It's more easy to make the pose and the movement. So here, I don't know guys, but I think this part I need to put a little bit more to the middle here, align it. But here we have this visual, this angle of the concept in a perspective. So here in perspective it works, but in frontal view I think I can put a little bit this guy here to this side here, for example, something like that. But for now we'll keep on this way. And I don't know, maybe make some rotation. For example, I need fill this element. Maybe it's a little big. Compare it to this guy. Maybe I need make it different. Let me try to select this region and make something like that. Let me check. And let me see here, it's okay. So it's a little better. So let me select this guy here. How you can see. Yeah, just a little tweak, but I think it's better. And of course, we need to finish the belt to have the holes and all these elements here to simulate it better. But it's going well. It's okay. So let me save. These little details, this part, guys, will take time. So don't worry about that. Will take time. So let me select this part here. And I can press Alt R. I will add a loop and make a mask here and play a little bit with this part here. It's something like Alt and play a little bit of the shapes, the silhouette here. Let me see it. Try to move a little bit this part. It's not zigzag, remember that. So let me try to move in front a little bit this part. Something more on this way if you want. Or not, let me check which option is better. On this way or on this way. I think I press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Yeah, well, I think is I can keep on this way here. Let me move a little bit on this part and this part, little tweaks. And I will try to keep it connected here. This region, and it's okay. So can use the slide to slide the vertex here if I want, but it's not necessary. Let me check. Try to make something like that. Yeah. It's okay. It's going well. Let me save again. But I confess you, this guys in front, it's cool. So maybe I will try to find a way to move it in front again. I don't know, but I need this movement. So let me try to select the region here. I will rotate to the same angle of them. Let me see here. Yes, on this way it's cool. So to this direction a little bit, oppose it. So let me rotate a little bit on this part. So all the time trying to make different and pose because these parts are important. Yes, they are important. So here it's something more like that. Let me see, or press Ctrl Z. Let me check here. Let me see here. Let me see here. This part, or on this part, or on this part here. So let me select this part here. It's okay. And maybe I can move down then, but I will keep with that. So I will save all this part, and how you can see, step by step, working very calmly. In next video we're gonna continue. So see you guys in next video. And basically here, guys, I will delete this edge and try to let me use the option of move slide this part. Let me see if I was using the symmetry. It's okay in this part here. It's okay, and this part here too, and here. Wow. And same thing here. I will press Ctrl Z, and I will try to use all these loops here. So let me see. Try to keep a better organization of these parts. Well, let me check. Let me see the shape. And here is more round. Maybe I need to try to do that or not. Let me try to make something more on this way. And this part here is more on this shape. Let me check. Yeah. If I want, guys, I can add a loop here and make more square if I want. I will test without it. Let me check here. Let me move this part here to this way. Let me select all this part here, and I will try a line again. Invert, select the transpose, and try to scale more or less to the same line. Let me see here, move up a little bit. This part I will move back a little bit. It's okay. Use the move and move here. Let me see. this part here. Maybe more. Here the same thing. I have a thing here. So here I can use the Altier and stitch and to end point, so I can merge this point to this point. Now it's okay. So let me check this part here. It's okay. I don't know, happy with this point. So now it's better. Let me see, it's okay. So now I can try to create a mask here. Let me hide this part, press X, Ctrl W. Let me see, oh, I have this question on the bottom, Altier, and I will delete this point and this point and this point and this point. So now let me press X to activate the symmetry, local symmetry. It's active and braid, select this point to this point, and it's all okay. So now turn off the symmetry, hide this part, and let me select this guy here, and I will hide this guy, press Ctrl W, and hide this guy in Ctrl W. So I want 3 different polygroups, and I will make the same thing with guys here. So I'm press Ctrl W, and here, guys, if I want, I could try to use polygroups and groups by normal. Will works too. Let me see, it's group by normals, yeah, but probably I need to change the polygroups again, so it's a good point to start here. So probably I would to change it then. Let me see, it's okay. In this part here I need create a polygroup to Ctrl W, and it's okay. Let me press Ctrl D, well, it's okay, more or less this shape. Let me add maybe a loop here. Insert more or less on this shape, just to have this limitation here, maybe. So now, well, it's not necessary because we're gonna use the crease PG. So let me go to geometry, crease PG, 45 tolerance, and 15 crease level. So now press Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, and here we have our part. So this point, if I want, I can change the low and change this part. So let me press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I will try to scale it. Let me select this point and scale a little bit on this part here. And here I can try to align it too. It's okay. Let me test again. Well. So I need to try to bring this point here. And come on, autosave, please, not. Oh, wait. Yeah, thank you. Let me save it, guys. Let me save it. Let me save, come on. Come on. Let me save. Almost there. Let me put here 74. Let me see. Put here 50 armor. Oh, thank you. So what I'm saying, it's this design, it's a little strange because here we have something more curved and here it's kind of straight line, diagonal line, very clean. So maybe let me try to make something like this way. So probably we'll change all the visual here, but it's okay. Make more sense. It's okay here, so we can try to use decrease PG. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see, it's okay. Let me press C, letter C to pick the same color. And let me go to geometry and I can use the clay polish and change the mask here. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I will use the soften 50, so it's more, it's mixed with a hard surface and a little more smooth at this part. So let me check more clean. So for example, you can check this part, the difference. Of course, this part, if you want, we can make more, this part more round if you want, but you can see the difference. So now, let me see, I have a little, so now we can try to put it there. But let me go here and let me select this piece here. We press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Let me see, Ctrl Z. So basically I will try to put this guy, let me duplicate that and hide the original. And I will try to rotate to the same position here, more or less. So more or less on this point. So let me check here. It's okay. This guy, it's a little more darkness. The color, it's a little more dark because we had a different material applied here. If I think it's Z metal. Let me see here, Z metal. Yes, or let me see here. Yeah, it's Z metal or the basic material. No, let me put it Z metal. And here we are using the, no, let me turn on this option and pick the color. So how you can see, it's the Z metal. Yes, basic material and Z metal. And when we are using the skin shading with same color, we have different result, but don't worry about that. So this part here, it's more round. But maybe I will need, and press X. Maybe we will need to inflate it a little bit. Let me go there, here, and I will append it. Let me select this part. Let me turn off this one. And select this one. So how you can see the proportion, it's different. So let me use the mirror. Of course, I need deleted subdivisions first, but let me try to maybe turn off the LS, the L symmetry, local symmetry, and try to scale, rotate, sorry, to get the same proportion here. So just let me turn on again this part. And I will come back here and try to find something that makes sense. Maybe the proportion, maybe scale a little bit. Let me try to move a little bit to the side. Try to scale a little bit, maybe. And let me turn off this guy. Yeah, make more sense on this way. I'm gonna go to geometry 5 and here it's 5 too. Yes. So let me turn on the perspective. And maybe I can rotate a little bit inner. Let me turn off the perspective. On this way here more or less and try to rotate a little bit this part. Let me see. I don't know. Of course, maybe because I need use the symmetry. So let me do lower and use the mirror symmetry. It's okay. And I don't know, guys. I'm not happy with the visual, but it's because this part here. So let me turn off it and select this point. Well, it's working. Maybe I could change this curve a little more intense or more inner. This point here, this curve here, be more curved. So let me press Shift D, but of course will not work. So let me press Ctrl Z, go to geometry, Ctrl Z, Shift D. And of course it's symmetrical. So let me try to make a curve here. Let me try to turn off, press Ctrl Z, turn off the perspective. And try to bring a curve here. Let me see this part, it's okay. So let me try to move this part here. Very delicate, very delicate. So these things, guys, are important because sometimes you just do something and whoa, is it and it's okay. No, but here maybe it's a little intense. So let me play a little bit with that. I can use the Ctrl Z again if I want. So do lower, mirror and out. So I think it's better. It's make more sense here. Or we can use, for example, this highlight here. Maybe we can use a clay polish with a strong smooth to get this. Let me see here. This highlight here. So let me test. Go to geometry, clay polish. This point here. Press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Let me go to the formation and try to polish a little bit. So this highlight, it's appearing here. Let me go to use the metal. So now we have this effect. Press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Well, it's a little more large. So basically we have this effect. Let me press Ctrl Z just to see this straight line. Yes, how you can see, look to this part. it's coming from this way, and this direction it's coming to this direction. So I want to inverse direction. So how you can see, basically I have changed this little tweak and we had this effect. So it's okay, and now of course we need this part here, this little detail, we need to redo it again. We need to redo it too. So where you are, my friend? It's here. No, it's here. So this little detail. So I need to select this guy, and I can try to use just a little rotate and maybe the move brush. Let me make a mask here and try to use not move brush. I use this brush here, the transpose. Or better, let me select this part, try to rotate a little bit in this point, move up a little bit this part. Well, maybe something like that. Can use high polish here to erase this part. Of course, we need to redo that, but it has worked. And here we have this effect. Of course, we can go to skin shading. Let me select this guy here. The bad part here, let me see here, it's because we need to reconstruct the symmetry, but it's very low. So what I'm gonna do here is press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, more or less until here. And I will duplicate that. I will rename it to original, because then if I want to make some, reuse the low mesh as a game mesh, for example, I can do that. So I will put original mesh and I will duplicate that. And here I will rename it to high poly. And now I will delete lower and use the mirror and weld. So now it's okay. Let me see this part. I can save it again if I want. You just save as a fit armor. Select our guy here and we'll clean out this part and save as style characters 76 only, and I will save. I like to put these names because then if I need to reuse something, I can easily find it. So is it, guys? Let me save, for example, let me load, sorry, this guy here, 66. For example, to see the difference, so look that. And of course, if you want, you can put this part a little more to this side to get this visual here. Let me check. It's better. So let me put this in middle. And then you can redo that if you want, for example, the visual. Here this part it's cool, and here it's cool too. So how you can see, maybe if you want, you can put something like more flat here, a straight line, and here more curved, but I think it's not necessary. We need to redo this piece here. And well, it's cool. Let me go to basic material. I can use the skin shading. Let me see here, it's okay. Reset all the things, and I will save again. And is it, guys. In next video we're gonna continue where we're gonna refine here the cloth to finish this part and redo this. We're using the zero mesh this part, so we are almost there finishing these elements. Here I can select this guy and put a color fill object. Same thing with that color fill object, just to get an harmonic visual here. Color fill object. So now we have more interesting visual. Save again. And is it, guys. See you in the next video. See you, guys. Hey guys, so continuing our project here, we're gonna make the retopology, or it's not retopology, we're gonna redo this part here, this guy, and here in the concept it's very in the corner of this part of the foot. So here in my project I will keep on the middle, so sometimes it works better, and you can choose your own visual. So here, let me select this guy, press C, and I will fill the color, fill object. And here, guys, I think, let me see, we could make a side here and here. It's this visual here. So I will try to, let me see, here we have this visual and here we have this visual. Let me see the concept. And yes, we have this visual here. So something like that. But I think this part more straight lines work better. So let me see. We could make extrude, for example, work with extrude here in polygonal software if we want. Or reuse these guys here. Let me think about, well, I will try to select a cube here, white color, initialize, and clean the extra information of divisions and polygons. Alt-R here. Oh, of course, I need to make Polymesh 3D first. Delete these guys. And extrude. Extrude, not delete this part, this part, this part, this part. Here, too. And basically, I will use the bridge here, bridge. So, I have some things that I don't like. For example, all the time I need to redo that, so take time, but well, is it? And here, guys, let me go to my project. Here I will append the cube. Let me select the cube here, press 2. and I will repose more or less here, this part, where I will try to do it here. So let me scale here. Let me turn on the X symmetry in local symmetry. Press X now to turn off this option. Let me see more or less. Let me turn off the perspective here. And basically here, try to work on the thickness here. And well, we're gonna try to do that. So let me turn on the symmetry, will not works, of course. So here, let me think about, I think we can just make a unique side first. So of course, remember we have different workflows to do that, but I prefer, let me see. Why the mask will not work in here? Let me see here, press Ctrl and I will brush and I will here in brush and try to reset our brushes. I don't know why my mask is not working, so now it's working. So now it's working. Let me see here my Wacom tool. What's happening here? The brush, let me see here. Now has worked again. So here, so sometimes guys you need to reset the brush and we have some bugs, don't worry. And here basically you try to make a retopology on this way. We could maybe test with ZeroMesher here too if you want, but probably will not work because let me use the half. Let me check it. Maybe if we can try to extract something like some shape here and try to work on it. I don't want round corners, curves on the corners. I want something more flat. Let me test. Let me go in this guy. Seems that it's not working because I am using half and my polygons keep the same poly count. So let me turn off the adaptive. Now it's working. So now let me check. I think I need to duplicate that. So let me see. Well, I will try to do with this cube here. So you select this part, invert, and try to keep this same design. Let me check this guy here. So come here, more or less on this way. And I will select this guy here and I will move down to this way too. And try to bring here. And I think here we need, let me check something like on this way. And here. So let me add a loop here. Let me check if is it. Let me make a mask here and I will try to bring this visual. Something like that. Wow. Let me try to discover the shape. It's like on this way. It's something like on this way here. But it's on this way. So let me try to discover it. It's something like that. Of course, guys, you can do it in Blender, for example, if you want, or other softwares. It depends. Let me press C to get the same color. And I will try to move up a little bit. Just to try to discover it. Let me invert this guy here and try to move more or less here. Wow. I'll select this part. And we're gonna play a little bit with that. But let me see, this visual I have enjoyed too without curves. Well, I will add a loop here too. And this part coming diagonal. So I will try to extrude it. Let me check this part, invert, move down, scale it, come here more or less. I can rotate a little bit. So let me check something like on this way. And here we have other extrude. And here I think I need a loop to bring it here. Because we're gonna work with polygroup, so it's easy to use decrease PG. So let me check it. This visual. Let me try to organize the polygons here. For example, these guys here, let me make a mask, select them and move up a little bit. Let me check here. Let me see. Here I will add insert. Let me see here, insert. Shift F. And more or less on this point. But I will not use it. I will extrude here because we have the problem with the two loops here will not make sense. So let me test to use the extrude here. Just let me check it. I will try to bring this point very close here. Little up here. And try to scale it. Let me select these guys here. Invert, and I will try to scale. Let me check these elements. So here, this point I will try to align more or less with this curve here. something like that. And this guy here, it's a little, I think we need smooth a little bit this part here. This guy. Let me go to geometry and clay polish. Well, will not work, so I can try to smooth a little bit. Handle smooth. Let me check here. So now it's better. Yeah, it's better. So here, guys, we need continue. Let me move more to the side a little bit here, more or less on this way. It's okay. Let me move. Maybe this part move down a little bit. This guy here. More or less on this way. Let me check, it's okay. Let me try to hide this guy here. Select this part. Mirror and weld. Wow. Symmetry activate. Well, let me see here. Let me try to invert and try to connect here. I don't know if it will works. I press Ctrl Z, and I will hide this guy and do hiding. Press Y to clean, and I will try to reset the pivot, but well, will not work yet. So let me press Ctrl Z, and I will bring this guy here. Try to connect it. Let me rotate. I think we could make in a straight line with the center of pivot, then rotate it, but well, now is it that we have. And here, guys, these elements, these parts take time, don't worry about that. So this part here not makes sense. Let me see, let me press Ctrl Z. I wanna increase a little bit this guy here. Move back a little bit. So now it's okay. Press X. Now it's better. Center to the object. Now to try to connect this guy here. Let me see. The center of pivot can be here. Press Y and try to rotate it. More or less here. Too much. Let me rotate a little. More or less on this part. Can be. Let me think about. Yes, of course we had a different file job because it was we are using metal material previous videos. So here, let me make a Well, here it's a little. Let me make a mirror weld again. And use the metal here. Let it press P. Well, it works, guys. Very well. Very cool. If I think here we can move up a little bit to get more thickness here. Something like that. Yes, it's better. And let me check if we need more, something more. Maybe this part onto here, but it's okay for now. We can play with that. So let me move this point here into here. Let me test this part. It's okay, and here the same thing. Let me check. Yeah. Can be, if you want, you can use the formation here and inflate a little bit. If you want, of course, you can use the inflate. Maybe this part more in front if you want. You can play a little bit now with the position. For example, here more or less on this way. Just playing a little bit. Let me press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I was using. Let me do this part here because I wasn't using the symmetry. So now let me mirror again. Turn on the symmetry, and now we can play a little bit with the pose. Just to check if you want using this part. I confess I don't like. I prefer on the middle, on this part. Make more sense. And inflate if you want. We can use on this way. So let me do this part again. Delete, do hide and mirror and turn on the symmetry. And well, it's not necessary use this one now. We need to fix this part here. We can use the stitch here. Let me merge it. Oh, I think I need delete the middle of the polygons. So what we can do here is try to hide some parts here. For example, this guy here, this part. So let me invert it. Press Ctrl W. Ctrl W. Let me hide these guys and these guys, invert it, and now I can do hiding. And now the stitch will work because I have deleted the polygon in the middle. So now I use the stitch, and you will see that it has worked. So I just need to select the vertex, the points, and merge it. Let me check here. This guy and this guy. How this process. Guys, this is my workflow. For example, I confess you that I press 6. I confess you that I have other workflows, but I always try to merge the vertex. I hate the floating vertex because when I was using 3ds Max, when I used that 3ds Max long time ago, I had a lot of problems with floating vertex, so I hate floating vertex. But well, and now guys, we can use the polygroup and polygroup binormals, groups binormals. And here, let me see, here we have, let me press again, group binormals. Oops, group binormals, it's okay. Here I think I need make a different polygroup here. It's okay. Here the same thing. It's okay. It's okay here, and this guy here we need to try to keep a different polygroup too, because we gonna have board informations here. These guys, it's okay. So let's test if it will works. Let me go to geometry and crease PG. Press Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, and has worked. Just this part here, if you want, we can try to put a different polygroup here too. Or we can try to smooth it a little bit. Press 2 and smooth. Or add a different polygroup to this way here. I press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. And the next video we're gonna continue, guys. Just to not make this video too lengthy. So see you in next video.